Hey there boys and girls, like Skullfaggy here, and today we have episode 3 of Howto Recon. It's basically a series where I update my old tutorials and tips and tricks videos because I haven't played for a while, and if you're getting back into Battlefield 3 or you're just starting out, I want to give you some tutorials and tips on how to play the Recon class effectively. So today we have a little longer video than usual because today we'll be talking about the bolt-action rifles. So in my opinion, you should run a bolt-action rifle. I mean, that's like the sniper, the Recon. It's basically, it's a main feature for me, and it's one of the main reasons why I like it so much. And yeah, today I'm going to help you choose your bolt-action rifle. There are 5 in the game, if I'm not screwing up right now, and I will help you to pick one, or yeah, choose and pick one, and yeah, what's better for what situation, and so on and so forth. So let's start out with the SV98 because it's the first rifle you unlock just by playing with the Recon class. And the SV98 has a base damage of 80 and it drops down all the way to 50, so this is quite low, but it's still enough for the 2.0 headshot multiplier to get a one-hit kill at all ranges. The SV98 has a nice little other feature, which would be one-hit kill chest shots within 20 meters. So all the other bolt-action rifles, they only do a one-hit kill to the chest within 15 meters, and the SV98 is doing that within 20 meters. So this is a nice bonus. On top of that, it has the tightest hip spread, so hip firing is quite accurate. So it's really like a viable option if you're doing it, even though you should try to be as accurate as possible, and you should try to use the scope as often as you can. But well, often enough there are some close quarter situations and you just have to get that no scope off, and the SV98 is pretty much the choice for you. It also has the second fastest rechambering time of 1.25 seconds, and the bullet velocity is 520 meters, and this is like also the second worst bullet velocity after the M40. So it's a good overall rifle, especially if you're going for this all-over sniping, so at all ranges and all situations. So next up we would have the M40A5, which is pretty similar to the SV98 in terms of rechambering. It has the fastest rechamber time, the M40A5, of 1.1 second, so the highest rate of fire of all the bolt-action rifles. It has a normal damage model of 80 to 59, just like all the other ones besides the SV98 and the M98B, which I will talk about in a second. So the M40 strength is the fast rechambering, so even if you only get a hit marker, most of the time you can like skip the step to switch to your sidearm and just try to get at the second round of the second shot, because the rechambering time is so high, and this is really what makes the M40 valuable. It has one downside though. It has the lowest bullet velocity of 490 meters per second, which means the bullet drop is quite insane. So after 300 meters it will drop down to the first point, the first mil dot. So now we're going to talk about the M98B, which is basically the long-range sniper rifle. You only have 5 rounds instead of 10 like with all the other rifles, and yeah, that's its like only negative thing, I would say. Its rechamber time with 1.3 seconds is still pretty okay, it's still pretty decent. Where it shines, of course, is the bullet velocity of 650 meters per second, which is like almost no bullet drop at all. It's a really accurate rifle. And I would say you can get shots down to 500 meters still with the first mil dot, so way more accurate. You won't have to compensate for bullet drop as much, so this is basically your choice if you're going for long range sniping. Okay, next up we have the assignment sniper rifles. First of all we would have the L96, and the L96 right now has really no place in Battlefield. So I mean, it has a pretty decent bullet velocity of 450 meters per second, which is a okay bullet drop. It's better than the M40 and the SV98, but worse than the JNG90 and the M98B. On top of that, it has the slowest rechambering, so longest rechamber time, almost 1.5. I think it's 1.37 to be exact, or 1.47. So it takes quite a while to get the second shot off. You will definitely need your sidearm in those situations if you're playing with the L96. It used to be a beast rifle, but DICE nerfed it, so those are the stats for the M96, not much to say there. Then we also have the JNG90, which basically kind of replaced the L96. So it has a bullet velocity of 560 meters per second, which is the second best bullet velocity of all the bolt-action rifles, which means less bullet drop, less compensation for the bullet drop, which is pretty insane. On top of that, we also have a 1.3 seconds second rechamber time. It's basically kind of a M98B, but with more rounds, because you get the same rechambering. The bullet velocity is also pretty good, second best, and yeah. So those are kind of what the sniper rifles just stats-wise are about. Of course, there's always like the feel to it and how you kind of play with them, and how you are used to the gun, what experiences you got with it, if you just kind of have like mastered the weapon. And those are really important factors too, but they're kind of hard to review, so it basically depends a lot on you. If you're already comfortable with one rifle, you should definitely like try to stick with it. Of course you can try other rifles and try how they feel and what you can do with them if they're any better. And there's also a site called simthic.com. They have all the stats for all the Battlefield 3 weapons, so you definitely should check that out. The link will probably be down in the description somewhere. So because I was kind of like going over it a little fast, so there you can read everything of it again. So my personal review of which rifle suits which situation. So I would say the SV98 is kind of an overall rifle. It has a nice little bonus of the tight hip spread and also the increased one-hit kill range for the chest. The JNG for me is kind of in the same area. So due to the less compensation needed, because it has the like high bullet velocity of 560 meters per second, it's kind of suited for all ranges and still having 10 rounds, which makes it like viable at basically all situations. Again, the rechambering is not that high, 1.3 seconds. It's only 0.05 seconds slower than the SV98. Then again, the M40 is basically the fast rifle, so if you're going for fast shots, if you want to maybe get feeds or something, I have no idea. It's also a really good choice, especially for like close quarter situations, in quotes, if you know what I mean, just like the SV98 is. M98B, long range sniper rifle all the way. You can definitely use it in other situations too, I mean that's clear, but it's the most viable for long range sniping. Then again, the L96 is kind of like the worst version of the JNG, so like I said, no real place right now in Battlefield 3, but again, if you have experience with it, if you're just used to the gun, if you like it, and you kind of got the feeling down, you should definitely like try to stick with it or something, because that's definitely like what will help you in the end, because to what it comes down in the end really is how you have played with the gun, your experiences, and how you kind of mastered it. And you can basically do it with all the other rifles too. Just make sure you're not like kind of, so if you're trying out other rifles, don't switch too often, because it kind of gets your aim off because of all the like different stats of the rechambering and also of the bullet velocity. So just make sure to try maybe one out and having your main rifle, and I think you were pretty good to go. So I think it's pretty much all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's go figure out.